Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm taking it outside today. In today's video, I'm going to show you that organic weed killer spray. It takes 3 ingredients. It's super simple to make. I'm going to whip that together and I'm going to go around and show you the weeds that I have. And then tomorrow I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. I went online to look at some organic weed killers and the pricing is astronomical considering that you can do it for such a reasonable, inexpensive price and just doing it at home. Anyways, so the lawn and garden sprayer, this is a 3-gallon sprayer. I'm not going to fill it all the way up due to the fact that it would be really heavy to try to carry it around. But this sprayer, and just a tip that if you are going to be mixing different chemicals in sprayers, make sure you label it like organic, so only organic stuff will go in there. I know what I've done on this one. I actually wrote the recipe on here, so that's the recipe. 1 gallon of vinegar, 1 cup of salt, and 1 tablespoon of dish soap. This is what we used. It can be any type of white vinegar, iodized salt, so just regular cheap table salt. And I happen to have Dawn soap. That's just what I use. So I will be using that in this recipe. But I'm going to get this mixed up and I'm going to go around and spray the weeds and show you what I'm spraying. And then tomorrow I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I have all 3 of those ingredients in there. So I am going to shake this real good and make sure that the salt is dissolved. And just want to real quick do the cost breakdown. I'll try to find the cost of what we paid for the salt. And the box that we got was a 4-cup box, so that price, and then we'll divide it by 4 because it only needs 1 cup. And the vinegar, I'll break that cost down. And the 1 tablespoon of dish soap, that is, I'm almost gonna call it pennies, because it's just 1 tablespoon of the large container that I purchased. So one of the main reasons why I wanted to find an organic, safe weed killer mix is because I have chickens and they do free range often. And I wanted to make sure that whatever we found or created, it was going to be 100% safe for them. Because as you know, if they were to eat or consume anything toxic or poisonous, that would then in turn make the eggs toxic and poisonous to us. So for obvious reasons, I desperately wanted to find some kind of an organic spray that was safe for all of us. And number 2, you know, if it happens to be a windy day, I didn't want chemicals blowing back on us and touching our skin. And so for 2 reasons, my chickens, since they free range all the time, and the second main reason is because I didn't want it to come into contact with us. Or I didn't want it to get in the groundwater either. So there's multiple reasons why it's the smart move to have this organic weed killer. I'm going to go ahead and start right here. This is right at my chickens' door of their run, which is where they come in and out of whenever I allow them to free range. And I'm going to start in this area right here. Now, as a disclaimer to this weed killer, even though it's all natural, it will kill anything that you touch. So just be careful not to spray this on anything you don't want to kill. And the idea is you want to spray on the leaves. Okay, so let's see how this works. This is poison ivy that's growing. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll come down and I'll just clip the poison ivy at the bottom, but I'm just curious how this is gonna work. So I'm just gonna spray right on the leaves of the poison ivy here. Now I don't really wanna get this in the chicken coop either, because chickens aren't supposed to consume a lot of salt. it's a good idea not to have salty foods fed to them. And also, as a disclaimer, I've noticed the last time, or from the last time that I used this, I probably should have rinsed it out really well. Todd's mowing over there, that's why it's so loud. Anyways, I should have probably rinsed this out really well with water and sprayed it through, because the salt dried a little bit on it, and so it takes a minute for me to try to get this started. So, and I'm not sure what kind of weed this is, but I'm going to go ahead and spray it anyways and see if I can't get this killed off. So I need to confirm the reason why this works so well, but my understanding is the soap helps attach this mixture to the plant. The salt helps to draw out the moisture, and the vinegar will kill the plant. Okay, so we will see how that works. I guess I will go ahead and try to kill off this grass too. I probably could have pulled this out, but I'll just spray some of these leaves. I'm just going to try to spray these leaves at the base of this tree. I'm going to spray these. I'm going to go into my landscaping. I just mulched this about a week ago, but I do notice that I did spray a lot of weeds right before I laid the mulch, but I did notice that there are some that are growing back. So I'm going to spray some of these weeds that are on the outside of the landscaping. Sometimes it's just easier to spray the weeds rather than get down and pull a million of them. So if you'd like to go back and watch that landscaping mulching video from last week, I'll go ahead and link that up above. Trying to be very careful not to hit my actual plants, but I'm trying to soak the weeds good enough that it will kill them. And I'm also trying to be very careful because I have a lot of little plants that I just planted this year. We'd really been in a drought for, I think the last time it rained really good was around May. This is July 3rd. And the last 2 days it's rained pretty good. We probably got about 1.5 inches of rain, which is fantastic. My All of my plants needed it so desperately. Like I said, I'm trying to be very careful not to get it too close to my actual plants. So I'm just gonna pull some of these rogue. What?
Go down that driveway. There's a couple of places where there's some grass growing in the driveway.
So anywhere I see green, and I know there are weeds or grass growing through, I am definitely spraying those leaves. Again, I'm trying to be very careful. Some of these I probably can come in and pull, but I'm going to try this first and try to get the bulk of it. Oh, that was loose. So I have, like, this was a new plant this year. This is a new plant this year, germinated, that's thyme. Anyways, if you go back and watch that landscaping video, I give you a brief tour of all the plants that I planted. And I have some things in here that are new, like these are irises. This is the first year really that I had those planted in here, and I have lots of rogue zinnias planted and a lot of my herbs, my blueberry bushes. Oh no, looks like something chewed through that zinnia back there, broke off. Oh, I see some green stuff back here that needs to be sprayed. That's what I love about this wand. I can spray at a distance and I don't have to keep stepping over my little fenced area. I had to put this little fenced area up because my dogs like to jump in there and pee on different things which are harmful to my plants. This can go. This one I think I'm going to go ahead and just pull up. It's just too darn close to that plant. So, and something else Todd just informed me, there's a lot of areas in the driveway which we're needing to get resurfaced that I guess the weeds are growing in, and grasses such as this right here. Spray some of these over here. We've been trying to get a guy come out here to refinish this driveway, but I guess with life happening, there were a lot of things going on in his life. He was either busy with work or he had some emergencies in the family, so he hasn't had a chance to get out here. To quote us, but hopefully soon, because this driveway is getting pretty bad. Is there anybody out there that's had issues? They have an asphalt drive and they have issues with the cracks. And do you resurface it yourself? Or do you pay people to do it? God, some of this is really bad. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's some alligatoring going on down the front part of the driveway closest to the house. But if you do it yourself, what do you use to help resurface? You see all those cracks? There's some alligatoring going on. It's just getting really bad. Anyways, I think I got most of the stuff that was growing in the cracks. Oh, I missed one. Okay, I think I got that one. Now, depending on how stubborn some of these weeds are that you spray, you might have to do a second application, but a lot of times when we use this weed killer, it usually gets it in one treatment. Looks like there's some moss growing there. I'm going to spray along here. So I'm going to spray right here. I'm actually going to spray along the side here. And I'll just stop it right there. So tomorrow when we come out and it's all brown, you'll be able to see where I didn't spray it, which was further down here, and I only sprayed it here and here and here. So we'll see how that does. Okay, around the pool, I'm going to spray some of these areas here. I have my cannas and banana trees. I actually made a video on that as well. This side doesn't do very well with the banana trees, but this side does amazingly well. And my cannas are getting ready to bloom right there. But in the meantime, I need to get some of these weeds. I got some of this creeping grass. I call it crabgrass. I think it's actually called maybe crabgrass. But anyways, it's the viney grass. Come on this side. Oh, there's a lot of it. It's amazing what a rain will do. Oh no, I think I might have to make some more. And I do come out here almost every day, and if I see weeds, I try to pull them. It's just, you know, when you have a lot of space, it can be a lot of work. But I love my space, and I'll do whatever it takes to have it look beautiful. And it's always a work in progress. I guess I should probably spray some of this area too on this side. We don't weed eat a whole lot, which is fine with me. We have almost 6 acres and we're not going to weed eat every week. I think I'm going to just pick this because it's getting too close to my plant. Those are more cannas. I had to add some irrigation because we were not getting rain and it was getting really, really bad. Okay, so I'm gonna probably maybe have to make another batch. I'll have to see what Todd thinks, but otherwise, okay, so I'm gonna probably stop right there with the videoing, and then we'll come back tomorrow and I will show you the progress and how well it did. And like I said, sometimes I have to do a second application depending on how strong the plants were. So I will show you the results tomorrow, but in this same video. So stay tuned. Real quick, this is the next day, and I'm going to real quick show you the areas that I sprayed. And like I said, when I sprayed this, I knew that there were going to be some areas that I was probably going to have to do multiple or at least more than one application, and it's actually starting to sprinkle here. So that's another thing, is if you know it's going to rain within 24 hours if you're spraying, probably don't spray. But I've already seen there's some of these plants are actually doing well in terms of dying. A lot of these plants are already dying. So you can see this is what I sprayed yesterday. It's already starting to die. And then I came over here. Now I sprayed this poison ivy, and you can tell it is affected, but I'm gonna have to do multiple sprayings, I think, of this. I know poison ivy is a little bit trickier to do. So I'm gonna have to come back out and deal with that. And I don't want poison ivy growing around my chicken coop. So what I might do to be more aggressive is just cut the vine at the bottom just to kill it off, kind of like what I did. I did that with this plant probably about a month ago. I just cut it at the bottom. This was a very large weed, and it looks like I'm going to have to do multiple applications on this one, but I think it did pretty good. I sprayed this, and it looks like it's already starting to die. This one I'm very impressed with. I don't know if you can see the brown. These were all leaves that have already shriveled up and fallen off. And over here, these look like they're a little bit hardier, or maybe I need to spray them better. I can see some browning, so that's going to be multiple applications. And then I know I came over in my landscaping and I started spraying for a bunch of the weeds. And I can already see like it's starting to brown up here and here. I don't know. I don't think I sprayed this one. Because I need to be careful with some of the weeds were inside the plants. But you can see it's browning up here. I know I sprayed some of those. I sprayed this. It's already browning up. I know I sprayed this right here. and that's brown already. I can't remember all the places I sprayed, but I know I sprayed back here, and I think there was something back over there. It's kind of blending in now, but I do remember spraying in this area, and it's working well. And I sprayed several of these areas, and it's turning brown and working well. And I know I sprayed these grasses that were growing. Same with this. And I do remember, I don't know if you remember, but I sprayed in the back side because I was happy about how far it extended, like all along the concrete there. And that's doing well. It's blending in because it's dying off. It looks like I missed, I don't think I sprayed any of this area. When I come back and do another application, I'll have to come back and spray that. Okay, these are just dying. I don't remember if I sprayed over here or not. Oh, my oregano is doing so good. It's filling out nicely. Same with this. I don't know. Okay, so if you go back and watch my video on mulching, you can see how small these plants were. And I told you we got rain a couple of days ago, like 2 days in a row, and it's amazing how quickly they're already growing. My goal is to get all my landscaping completely filled out throughout most of it. And I have blueberry bushes that I had planted in here. So I'm hoping that those get nice and big to form what will look like actual bushes, but of course it will feed us as well, so it'll serve as double duty. Okay, so I know I specifically sprayed in this area so you could see. I know I also sprayed up and down the driveway too, but I know I sprayed here. And then I don't know if you remember when I specifically sprayed along the sidewalk here and here, and I stopped because I wanted you to see the difference as to how well that weed killer works. And then of course I sprayed throughout my landscaping around the pool, and I know I sprayed along here, and that's turning brown, and a lot of the other areas that I sprayed. So the weed killer does a fantastic job. Like I said, sometimes you might have to do multiple applications depending on how strong those weeds are, but it is definitely a much safer alternative, especially when you have young children or dogs, or in my case I have dogs and chickens. Oh, and real quick, before I leave you, I don't know if you had seen the video of me planting the zinnias for free. I can pop that up in the top corner, but they're doing really well, considering we have been in a drought for about 8 weeks, and now that we're starting to get rain, I think this is going to get even bigger and fuller, so I'm looking forward to that. I even planted a couple of sunflowers here, and also my garden, it is starting to produce wonderfully for me. I'll have to give you an updated tour. I'm already harvesting things, even though I got a late start. And if you did not watch my video yet on me planting my seedlings, and it was a question answer with my daughter, I'll pop that up on the screen as well, and in the description box below. But this year I did many things. I did some experimentation with garlic. My seedlings did not do well at all. but that didn't seem to stop my tomatoes. They are absolutely enormous considering how small they started, but they are probably about, I'm guessing, at least 6.5, 7 foot tall right now. And I think next year, because they have gotten so big, I think next year I'm going to do something a little bit different. And I have to show you my tomatillas. So these arbors probably stand, I'm guessing, close to maybe 8, 9 foot tall. And you can see how big my tomatillas are growing. It's almost to the top. And I've got other things growing in here too. It has just gotten, oh my gosh, so overwhelming and big. On this other side, I do have green peppers and other types of peppers. I have a sunflower and a melon growing back there. It's getting a slow start, but it's growing at least, so that's good. It's growing up on the fence. And I have a couple eggplants, and then I have other various peppers. I do have basil and marigolds planted in there in between my peppers. Now the bad thing about this year is my peppers, the seedlings just did not do very well at all. So some of them did work, and I did plant some of them from my seedlings, but I actually did go out and buy some of the green bell peppers, just because we use a lot of green bell peppers and we wanted to make sure we had plenty. But otherwise, everything else I grew from seed, and it is doing absolutely amazing. I've already harvested my garlic. If you like this video and would like to watch any of those videos on gardening, and see my 100 bulb harvest, and I will be braiding those garlic, so that'll be an upcoming video. But be sure to check out the links down in the description box below. If you found value in this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. Until next time.